I mean, you ever been
oh my gosh. Yeah, that airbag was harder than almost anything that I ever had to take. You know, I mean, it was a side airbag, so it hit me on the side of my head, and it's long. So I said after getting out of the car, it felt like I was at a bar, had a few drinks with Marcos Maidana, and I was like, hey, bro, I want you to hit me like 3 times upside my head. Go! You know, because it was just one pop, but there was pain here, there was pain here, and there was pain there. So I say, you know, it was 3 right hands from Marcos Maidana is what it felt like from that one airbag. Yeah, and even though I haven't fought Marcos, I'm just.
You still in Clearwater? You live there?
Yes, sir. Bought a house back there. I was here in St. Pete for a little while, but all me and my dogs, my girl, we were in a apartment. Three dogs at that time. 3 dogs at that time.
Now 4 dogs.
Yeah,
right?
4 dogs.
And
yeah.
is this the oldest one, little champ?
He's the youngest.
He the baby?
He's the baby. Yeah, he's the baby boy.
I guess you don't mess with him. I mean, you can't.
Oh, I beat him up all the time. Oh no, I beat him up all the time.
Keith, how bad was that injury? I know you had to go see a chiropractor for it and everything.
Yeah, so in detail, right? I go and I see a doctor, I get x-rayed. He says, be careful, you know, you just got in an accident, you know, through the x-ray, we don't see no too many crazy spinal issues right now. We're gonna put you on an adjustment regimen. You should be okay, but you need to be careful because trauma happens to the spine in accidents and you can have a delayed reaction, right? Mm-hmm. I'm like, okay, doc, I'll pay attention. It is what it is. We pay attention for a few days, then I'm like, we think we're fine. We'll go back into the regular routine. Nothing, who cares, right? So I spar and I do 8 rounds, 4 with one guy, 4 with Edna Cherry, right? And I was being a little bit more aggressive, and Edna kept hitting me with these little jabs as I was trying to bolt in. And there's one time where I bolted in, I bent my knees, I came down, and as I swooped down, I got hit with a jab, and it pinned my neck back. And to me, that was probably the most jarring of any punch, and it was a jab. So there wasn't a lot, I didn't get hit with a lot of major punches, and not one punch made me stop. After the 8th round, I go to get water, and I realize it's hard for my chin to just simply rise up to get the water. There was restriction there, and it was a little nerve-wracking. I didn't want to say nothing at the time. We had a gym packed full of people. I didn't want to startle Dan, nobody. And I said, all right, Keith, this is what you're going to do. You're going to spar 1 more round. You're not going to get hit at all. You're gonna really avoid being hit. And then you're just gonna say that's good for the day because it was 9 rounds. 9 rounds was fine for that point in camp, and I didn't want to try to alarm nobody. I got out of the ring. I started talking about it. I realized I could not move my neck over my shoulder. I simply could not do this motion, and to even try to was very strenuous and very painful. So the weekend goes by. I go see my chiropractor over that weekend. He works on me, and it moved better. It moved better that following Monday. Showtime camera crew was here. We came into the gym to work. My doctor calls me that morning and says, because even though he saw me that weekend, I said, hey doc, how serious is this? And he said, well, we kind of don't know, Keith. There's people heal differently, And he never gave me a blunt answer. So that morning he calls me, he goes, Keith, you might need to consider pulling out this fight. And I go, you didn't say nothing like that yesterday, doc. What's this coming from? Really, really, really? He started breaking it down to me, and I think he just didn't want to hit me with that news right away, you know? So I go to the gym, and it's before I even hit the gym, I'm like, I know he's not playing. He said, go, you know, I want you to go see another doctor, go get another, you know, some more advice. Yeah, and get the MRI, but get it looked at and get another doctor's opinion, right? Because it's always good to cross-reference. So I come to the gym though, I call Al Heyman, I tell him what doctor told me just to put him on.
You call Al Heyman directly? Just asking because you know a lot of people don't do that.
A lot of people do it.
I made my statement. Anyways.
Okay.
Anyways. So I let him know what the situation was, and I was nervous. He said, "Don't worry about anything." I said, "I'm on my way to the gym now. I'll let you know how today goes." He goes, "Please do, Keith. Call. Let me know how today goes." I come to the gym. The camera crew's here. I wanted to start off with some jump rope like I normally do. Start off with jump rope. My neck's hurting. I said, all right, let's just put the rope down. Let's not think too much about it. Let's just put the rope down. Let's shadow box. I start shadow boxing. I go to throw a left hook. My neck's hurting. Honestly, man, no lie, man, I bust out into tears, man. I bust out into tears. The
Accident was late February.
Yes, sir. The knowing of the disappointment of having to pull out of the fight, right? You know, I ain't no Dodger, man. I ain't doing nothing. And I have no reason to pull out of a fight outside of an injury. And a lot of people don't know, some real people know, that a lot of fighters are never 100% for almost any fight, right? And you fight through things. But this neck was something I couldn't fight through. So just knowing, and the camera crew was here to film. So we had to send them home. There ain't nothing to film. And the fight's off. The day they came was the day the fight was about to be called off, you know? So, and I know it was almost a little kind of close to the fight, just maybe a little bit further than where we are right now, a little bit further out on the announcement. So, you know, it was what it was, man. It was very depressing, man. I felt obligated to the fans, you know. Al reassured me, you know, you're not messing up anything, you know. Shawn's still gonna be there. This is the fight they want. This is everything. You know, I had a lot of reassurance from my team, from my doctors, from Al himself, and that just made it so that we can do what we needed to do and get a new date, which we did as soon as possible by talking to our doctors and doing what we could do. And now here we are, man, making this fight happen. After this injury, you know, I could say, hey, I'm not 100%. I don't want Shawn Porter. I don't want him. Kell Brook had an injury, ended up not fighting Diego Chavez last year, you know, and several other fighters throughout this year. There's already been injuries, man. So injuries happen. The one thing I'm happy about is we were able to do what I say, go into recovery camp, so that we can get back into training camp and make the fight that the fans want to see happen.